there's a lot of money. These are billions of dollars. It doesn't add up to billions for the individual, but adds up to $200, $300, $400. So anyway, I'm optimistic. It's going to take some time, and I appreciate the frustration of the American people.
Can everyone remain seated while we wait? Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much. President, we need everyone to remain seated.
What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and that was President Joe Biden today making an announcement to address more economic assistance that's going to be going out and refusing to take questions at the end. And that's probably because not a lot of people are happy about this announcement, what we're hearing. Take a look at these headlines, you guys. Biden job approval back down to 40%. Joe Biden's poll numbers are in a very bad place for Democrats, and we're hearing this announcement. It didn't really help. Let me know your thoughts, though. Take a look. Biden cracks down on junk fees in new economic focus ahead of the midterms. Now, let me know your thoughts. Should junk fees be the focus? Now, he is going to be discussing this. You're going to see it. I'm going to share with you the video footage in the announcement as he's saying it's literally going to save families hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But when we've been in the middle of a pandemic, we're facing a recession we're hearing that is on the way. If it's not already here, there's a war with Russia and Ukraine, and everything is just unfolding in a negative way for our economy. Junk fees. Let me know your thoughts, you guys. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, this is coming as also people are still waiting for that $2,000 fourth federal level check. We're getting reports coming out that stimulus checks will be needed in the next recession. Also, targeted stimulus checks would do a whole lot of good for those in need and help out our economy. Child tax credit, Social Security increases will be needed. And there's all of these promises and provisions that people are saying they need. And then he comes out with this announcement. Now, let me know your thoughts, because this could help out people, but it just, is it enough? And people are hurting. And we're getting an announcement from the president about junk fees, and the way he just refused to take any of those questions, shouting him out of the room, it just kind of feels like they're just kind of bypassing that. Now, also at the same time, though, we're dealing with record high inflation. So new spending, that is going to be an issue. Sending out new issued funds is going to be adding to the economic crisis we're experiencing. However, I just shared with you in my last video, the new funds are going to be going out across the seas to help out with vaccinations and to help out with the war with Russia and Ukraine. But we still have $500 billion of leftover funds from previous stimulus packages just sitting there, and that is enough to send out a fourth federal level check to everybody in the nation of $2,000. But we will see, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Now, I'm going to share the video footage with you so you can see it for yourself. Hear President Biden discuss this new plan that he has to tackle these junk fees that should hopefully help out with our economy. And I'm going to give you all the details. We're going to take a look at it so you can see it for yourself. But before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Smash the like button if you appreciate the updates. Whatever unfolds, I'll be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel. Also, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. It's totally free. I'll keep you up to date on stimulus, Congress, the economy, SNAP benefits, child tax credits, Social Security increases, everything unfolding. Any specific questions, hop onto Instagram, shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. Check out my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. If you want access to my comprehensive list of every stimulus check in the nation for every level, states, cities, counties, check it out at www.reliefroadmap.com. And also, thank you for all the support on the kids' new channel. I'm very proud of them. They released a new video yesterday. If you missed it, check it out. If you got little ones, I hope they enjoy it. But with that being said, you guys, let's take a look at this video footage. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Well, good morning. Today, my administration is announcing new actions to lower the cost of everyday living for American families, to put more money in the pockets of middle income and working class Americans, to hold big corporations accountable. And these steps will immediately start saving Americans collectively billions of dollars in unfair fees. And I'm here with the Director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, Mr. Chopra, as well as the Chair of the Federal Trade Commission, Lena Khan. And we're remembering they're members of the Competition Council that I created last year to promote competition across the economy and lower costs for families. One of the key things I've asked the Council to take on was the unfair hidden fees known as junk fees that are taking real money out of your pockets, real money out of the pockets of American families. Things like has been mentioned, surprise banking overdraft fees, excessive credit card late fees, hidden hotel booking fees, or those huge termination charges to stop you from switching cable and internet plans to a better deal. Surprise charges that companies sneak into bills because they can. In fact, there's an entire industry that's popping up in America to help companies use complicated algorithms to hide fees that hurt consumers and help them. These things add up. Remember, we talked in the beginning of the administration about the study done, I think it was at Penn, that if an average family got a $400 in charges or bills in a month that they couldn't pay, they'd have to sell something or have to borrow the money. Well, this adds up to more than $400 for a lot of families. The way I think about it is the way, you heard me say it before, my dad used to talk about it, and so many other people talk about it around their kitchen tables. How much your monthly bills, how much do you have to pay for necessities? And is there enough left over just to have a little breathing room? We're making progress in bringing down the cost to families. And by the way, the price of gasoline continues to fall. It's down for the third week in a row. They're down $1.25 a gallon from the beginning of the summer, and gas prices in the decade before the pandemic were averaging $3.30 before the pandemic, before I got here. During the pandemic, no one was driving, so the gas prices went down. But even with historic recovery we're seeing in the economy of 10 million new jobs and unemployment of 3.5%, gas prices are continuing to go down. And because they're going down, we're making serious progress in getting prices close to what they were before the pandemic. The most common price right now in America is $3.39 a gallon. It's going to come down more. And they're going to come down even further when the oil companies agree to our demand, my demand, to pass on the savings from the price of a barrel of oil, which is considerably down, to the pump, where in fact you get charged by the gallon. Each year, these junk fees, in addition, that companies charge cost Americans tens of billions of dollars, weighing down family budgets and making it harder for people to pay their bills. So my administration is taking action to eliminate these fees. First, imagine this. Your child outgrows his bicycle, and you decide to sell it online. And someone pays you a check, pays you $30 for the bicycle or something. Days later, that check that you got paid with, that you deposited in your bank, it bounces. You didn't know it was bouncing, but you get charged $15. You get charged $15. It's wrong. It's ridiculous. It's unfair. My administration is making clear today it's illegal as well. Second, my administration is also making clear surprise overdraft fees are illegal. Listen to how those fees work. And some of you all know this, because you know from your everyday lives. But you pay a bill and you double check your bank account to make sure before you write the check that you have enough in your account to cover it. You've gotten the money, so you go ahead and you pay. Then it turns out your balance wasn't up to date because your bank was slow in processing other charges. And by the time the bank gets around to settling the transaction, you've overdrawn your account. You're charged an overdraft fee that runs around $35 each time. It's not your fault. The bank screwed up. You didn't, the bank did. You had a positive balance when you paid the bill. It's just simply wrong. And today, my administration is making clear it's also illegal. Today's actions are going to save consumers more than $1 billion each year. And that's a lot of money back in people's pockets. As Director Chopra shared this morning, that his team is even going further, developing rules and guidance that would take credit card late fees and other banking fees that cost Americans $24 billion a year, take them on. And we're just getting started. There are tens of billions of dollars in other junk fees across the economy, and I've directed my administration to reduce or eliminate them. Last week, the Federal Trade Commission started work on a rule to crack down on unfair and deceptive fees across all industries. Fees that were never disclosed, and there was no way to avoid the fee, like processing fees for concert tickets or like resort fees. When you think you're paying one price to book a hotel, and you only find out after you're checking out that there's a resort fee you've never heard about that's added to your bill. And the Department of Transportation is going after unfair airline fees. Last summer, if your flight was canceled or delayed, only one top airline guaranteed that you could rebook for free, even because they're the ones that canceled, not you. You didn't fail to show up. They canceled. When Secretary Buttigieg called them out on this, about 10 airlines, now 10 airlines rebook for free. They don't charge the fee. That's progress. The Department of Transportation is working on rules that would require airlines and travel sites to disclose fees up front. Fees like things, if you want to sit next to your young child, well, guess what? Or check your baggage, or change your ticket. You're going to be surprised. They're going to charge you for that without telling you. Your ticket's going to cost a heck of a lot more. And that's not a Federal Communications Commission. They're working on a rule that would make the same thing for fees that internet companies charge, requiring them to show those costs up front. I'm not saying they can't charge it, but you got to let you know they're going to charge it. You can make a decision. Some airlines, if you want 6 more inches between you and the seat in front, you pay more money. But you don't know it until you purchase your ticket. Look, folks, these are junk fees. They're unfair, and they hit marginalized Americans the hardest, especially low-income folks and people of color. They benefit big corporations, not consumers, not working families. And that changes now. You know, we've been working this for a while. I know it's been a tough few years, but from day one, my administration has been laser focused on easing the burden facing working class families and giving them, as my dad would say again, just a little breathing room. Because of the steps we've taken, the United States is in a stronger position today than any other country in the world economically. Jobs are up. People are back to work. American manufacturers are roaring back. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be heading up to Syracuse, New York, that area, where our U.S. company Micron is going to be investing $100 billion. I think I go day after tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow. Manufacturing computer chips will put tens of thousands of Americans to work. Working hard to tame inflation with policies that bring down the cost of gasoline, home energy bills, and prescription drugs. In the meantime, we've been delivering concrete savings for working families and seniors. We've made, for example, hearing aids more affordable and available over the counter at places like Walgreens and Walmart, so that tens of millions of Americans with hearing loss don't have to pay expensive visits to specialists. It's saving people as much as $3,000 per pair of hearing aids. $3,000. It was also made it possible for tens of millions of Americans to get free or low-cost internet. If you want to get that, go to getinternet.gov. I'll lay out for you how you do it to check your eligibility to get $30 off your internet bill every month. In addition to taking action today to restrict 2 particularly egregious types of banking fees, my administration has pushed banks to reduce the fees they charge for consumers across the board. The result? 15 of the nation's 20 largest banks are voluntarily getting rid of bounce check charges entirely. They're going forward with the director's team is also developing rules for guidance that would require banks to go even further in addressing additional types of junk fees. They're working to lower prices and increase competition across the whole economy. Because when companies compete, products get better, prices go down, wages go up. We encourage innovation when that occurs, and America leads the world. It's called capitalism. I've said it before, capitalism without competition isn't capitalism, it's exploitation. Folks, there are 2 very different ways of looking at our country. One is, as I've said before, the view from Park Avenue, which says help the wealthy and maybe that'll trickle down to everyone in the country. The other is from Scranton or Claymont or thousands of cities across the country like the place I grew up. The benefit and the belief that the backbone of America are people who get up every morning and work for a living, put on their shoes, get out of bed, and go to work. The middle class, they're the ones who built this country. That's who our country should work for. And we're going to keep taking concrete actions like this. You're going to hear more from me on this to make sure it does. And when it does, not only are they going to do well, the wealthy will do very well as well. So folks, look, it's taken a little bit to get this competition piece moving, but there's a lot out there. It's going to change, not the lives, but it's going to change the circumstance for an awful lot of hard-working middle-class folks. The idea that, If you want it, anyway, I won't go on now. You're going to hear more from me about this later. But I just think that one of the things that I think frustrates the American people is they know the world's in a bit of disarray. They know that Putin's war has imposed an awful lot of strains on Europe and the rest of the world and the United States. Everything from him blocking grain shipments to oil. And they want to know, what are we doing? And there's a lot going on that we're doing. And it adds up. And what I'm going to be coming back to you with is an example. I don't know if I'm going to do it from the podium or a release. But take an average family who's going to go visit their mother or father for Thanksgiving. What's the charge? Or they're going to come home from school? I mean, there's a lot of money. These are billions of dollars. It doesn't add up to billions for the individual, but adds up to $200, $300, $400 for average families. And I'm not being solicitous here. I say to the press here, a lot of you come from backgrounds like I came from. We're not poor, just regular folks. But that matters. It matters in their life. And by the way, I'm going to be working very hard to make sure that oil companies pass on the reduction in the price of a barrel of oil to the pump. So anyway, I'm optimistic. It's going to take some time. And I appreciate the frustration of the American people.
Can everyone remain seated while we wait? Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, President.